All right, welcome. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles live with Patrick J. Happy Thursday, everybody. It is Thursday, right, Patrick?
It is indeed. How you been, my friend? It's been a long time.
It's been a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm good. How are you doing?
Just living the dreams, working my life away.
Right until the last stone is ground into the soil, if that makes sense. Well, anyway, happy Thursday, everybody. Big Play Slay. What's up, my dude? All right, so we're going to be talking about the Julio Jones updates. There is some, not a lot, but there's some around the league talk in general, open conversation, whatever you guys want to talk about. The Eagles have made some front office changes promoting giving the highest ranking to a female, which is absolutely phenomenal in the front office. It did come on the heels of the Denver Broncos making a similar move. Jalen Hurtsme, welcome, my man. Happy Thursday. And her name is Catherine Reich, right? Reich. I feel bad not knowing how to pronounce this, but it is a strange last name. Not strange, but you know what I mean. It's difficult to pronounce. But her new role is going to be she's going to oversee everything in the scouting department, the personnel department, all of the above, basically taking the former role of GM or the role of Andrew Berry, who obviously is now with the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
But yeah, we'll just have to see how that pans out. I mean, it's kind of cool because she made her way up. The Eagles had her on staff in 2019, and she got promoted. So that's freaking cool. That's awesome. Hopefully, she can
Yes,
hold Howie
it's
Roseman accountable. But go ahead, Patrick. What
exactly,
do
and
you think?
it's not just that she's first female to have such a high position, which is an awesome thing to start with. But like you said, she's only 32 years old. She's one of the probably youngest vice president of football operations already. So I mean, on top of being a female and just 32 years old, it's a huge leap of faith for the Eagles, and it's such a cool thing for the Eagles to do, and I'm excited for Catherine Rice to go out there and really, make her mark on this, and hopefully it's one of many hires coming forward. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see how it
yeah,
goes.
no, absolutely. And again, the age thing. I mean, it does seem like that's exactly where the Eagles minds are, considering all the staff coaching changes or the coaching staff changes, and their kind of age window, and then also along with Catherine Reich. So that's pretty cool. I think the one thing about that is it brings excitement, it brings passion, and it brings a different energy to the football team as a whole. And we've heard some players for the Philadelphia Eagles talk about the intense energy, and not just intense, but positive and bright energy that the coaching staff has brought as well to the practices so far this offseason. But Big Play Slay, Enter Zone, Jalen Hurtsme, welcome, happy Thursday, everybody. So at Big Play Slay says, how do you feel, DB, about the Eagles making Dave Caldwell the executive? They said, I think. So, Patrick, I have two opinions on this. I mean, there was a report that was put out, kind of quoting one of the Jacksonville Jaguars staff, I believe, who said nothing but horrible things about Dave Caldwell. Said that he was probably considered the worst GM during his time in Jacksonville. But here's my thing: is I think it was 2013 to 2020, if I'm remembering correctly. Is they held him to the standard of, obviously, the what indicates success as a GM is can you nail the franchise quarterback, can you nail your first round picks. It sounded almost a little bitter to me, honestly, Patrick, that like they and what I mean by that is, like, it's not like they missed on draft picks. They didn't miss on
Right.
players, and for them to say that, like, sounds a little off. And I mean this when I say Jalen Ramsey, Miles Jack, Leonard Fournette. Like, at the end of the day, he wasn't working alone. Tom Coughlin obviously did oversee the personnel decisions at the end of the day, similar to Howie Roseman. So So big play Slay, to answer your question, I'm kind of in between. There, he does have a relationship with Howie Roseman, and maybe that is why he got the position. But it's also not. He doesn't have as much power as he did, and so maybe he will share some good insight. So I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna wait and see. What about you, Patrick? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. Like you said, he was a Jaguars GM from 2013 to 2020, and then anytime you're able to bring a assistant in that role of personnel executive is basically an assistant to the general manager. It seems like anytime you have a experienced guy coming in like that, I mean you'll take it, and then it seems like he's just going to be strictly in charge, not even in charge. He'll be participating in pro and college scouting and contribute to evaluation as a whole. So. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think it's a bad hire. I don't think it's an impactful hire necessarily. I think it's something that, like he is a football mind. He's going to come in and just give his 2 cents. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be down to Howie or to a certain degree, like Coach and Reich, like that we mentioned, to make those decisions. So he's not going to be the sole decision makers, or I don't even think he's going to have any capacity to make the decision. So it's not like make or break deal here. Like you said, he did have some concerning history as far as his first round draft picks are concerned. Like Luke Jokel was his first pick. I don't know if you remember Blake Bortles and Dante Fowler. They didn't work out, obviously, but just like you said there, his past few draft picks have worked out a lot better, like Jalen Ramsey and Leonard Fournette. They did draft Taven Bryan, number 29, Josh Allen. So they were all decent draft picks, and he did pretty well in the later rounds too. So, I don't think he's a bad addition.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so either. I want to go back to Catherine Reich real quick, and just in regards to Howie Roseman, is this a hot seat year for Howie Roseman? Are they grooming Catherine for possible GM changes at the end of the season if the things don't work out? My thing is it probably not at the end of this season, just because of the fact that Howie Roseman was able to pull off having multiple first round draft picks next year. And but it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing to think about. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think that's exciting. Obviously that's a big change that fans have been calling for a long time, but we'll see how Howie Roseman does when his back is up against the wall. But that leads me to this. Enter Zone. Please, no women in the NFL. Dude, I mean, I'm going to let you guys say what you want to say, but come on. What kind of shit is that? What kind of fucked up shit is that? Anyway, Toxic Falcons, welcome to the chat today, brother. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Big Play Slay says, I don't think Julio Jones to the Eagles sounds enticing, only for the simple fact that the establishment of the culture the Eagles want to implement is not what Julio wants as a team winning games. Patrick, you want to take this one?
I'll agree to disagree. I don't think necessarily that getting Julio Jones is with the price that they're asking, and it seems like the Falcons are going to get what they want. The last report that we got was that they're going to get a future first round pick. I don't think, just for the sole fact of the price, I wouldn't want the Eagles to trade for him. But as far as like establishing the culture the Eagles want to implement is not what Julio wants as a team. I did read that too, where Julio does want to go to a more established team that are more set on winning. And I'm not saying the Eagles are not capable of doing that, but I did hear the Falcons also want to do good by him and send him to those teams that are for sure going to be winning. So for that sole reason, I do not think that the Eagles and Julio are necessarily a match, and I do agree with you on that aspect. But I mean, if you are somehow able to get him on the team, I think it's going to help tremendously both for Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts' development. Of course, have someone like Julio Jones in the market, but with his price tag, both in terms of salary and what it'll cost to get him on the team, along with the fact that Julio Jones and the Falcons are just strictly looking at a lot of the playoff teams that made the playoffs last year.
Right.
I do agree that I don't think it's something that's likely to happen as far as a marriage is concerned between the two.
Yeah, no, exactly. And on top of that, I kind of mentioned in previous streams too. I mean, if the Eagles were to get Julio Jones on their on the team, it would be absolutely phenomenal for Travis Fulgham and Trayvon Grimes and their development as well. I'm gonna be that's one of the matchups I'm gonna watch definitely throughout camp. Patrick, is Trayvon Grimes versus Travis Fulgham, because I do have a lot of faith in Trayvon Grimes, and I think it was a steal of a undrafted free agent to go ahead and get. But we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. I think it'd be great for their development if Julio came in and was able to be a part of this team. He has to go to a team that has the cap space. Yeah. I mean, I think that he's set on Patrick. I think he's set on like going to the Titans or the Pats. But was reported this morning is that a team did offer a first round pick, and it may have been the Pats. I mean, they were kind of really wanting him as a part of. I mean, rumoredly really wanting him as a part of a trade up to number 3 for the Patriots, but or not number 3, but number 4 for the Patriots. But it just did not happen. So.
Right. I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, I mean, the cap space will really get into play, but with the June 1st deadline coming, a lot of, teams could open up cap space. I mean, if we're just strictly looking at cap space situations, Patriots do make a lot of sense. They do have upwards of $16 million to acquire Julio Jones. Like with Cam Newton there, who he already has a decent relationship with, I think he would like to team up with Newton and just go to, just be able to play for Bill Belichick. I think that's an option for him. Other teams with cap space, I mean, the Cardinals were mentioned. They have $14 million. They could potentially have up to $26 million. And DeAndre Hopkins already said that he's willing to restructure his contract for him.
Right.
And they did just open up a couple roster spots in the 90-man roster too. And I know they're rumored to be in talks with Steven Nelson as well. So, I mean, who knows who it's for. 49ers also have $18 million too. I know they were looking for wide receiver. Browns have $20 million. And then a little bit, and then some teams that, have cap space that don't make sense, like the Jets have 25. Jaguars have almost $40 million, but I don't think they're going to be going after Julio. One other team that makes sense, and I think Big Play Slay brought it up, is the Colts. I mean, they do have almost $21 million available. Their top receivers are T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman, Paris Campbell. So, I mean, they could definitely use an upside guy like Julio Jones to come in and help Carson Wentz out. And I do see that's a possibility too. So, I mean, if you're putting a bet, I think at the end of the day, wherever he goes, he's going to have to do a restructure of some sort. But realistically, I think you're looking at, like teams like the Patriots or the Titans. And, I wouldn't rule out teams like the Colts or the Cardinals or the Niners either. So.
Right. No, exactly. And, yeah, Big Play Slate talked about the Colts on the previous stream, and I agree. I mean, I think that they do need to get another weapon for Carson. It's just that what does that look like? But I mean, if it's Julio, I mean, I feel like that would be great for Carson. It'd be everything that Carson Wentz always wanted in Philadelphia, Patrick.
Exactly, number one receiver.
But then again, like I think Carson just wanted like a Devontae Smith in Philadelphia, and like we just weren't getting it for him. Like I don't know. Anyway, blah. Toxic Falcons, welcome, my man. And also, Julio and Shannon Sharp could be sued. Are they really in that much trouble for that fucking thing, Patrick?
I don't know personally.
Like I didn't see it.
I don't know personally.
But like Shannon called Julio while they were on air.
Yeah, that he's out of here. I didn't think that would be that big of a deal, but I must have missed it. But I did listen to that interview. But
well, Fox has apparently a problem with it. That's what I just recently read. But by the way, there is an update on Zach Ertz, and just getting the Zach Ertz thing real quick. It's honestly just an article put out by Bleacher Report, but there are some teams that see him as a Stifler, and it's kind of everything that I've been talking about, which is the dude just needs to shut up and go play. And I don't mean to say it like that. That's not what I mean. I just mean that, like, dude, you were offered a contract from the Philadelphia Eagles at the beginning of last offseason. He's just not being accommodating. You know what I mean? He's not compromising. And I get it. That's fine. Like I get when a player doesn't want to compromise because they still believe that they have a lot to offer. But like, he has like an 8 mil cap hit going on this final year of his contract, and some teams have other options that are more viable than a 30-year-old tight end. Tight ends like Hunter Henry, for example, are only 26. You know what I mean? And so there's other options. They're not going to overpay for a 30+ tight end. Don't you agree?
Right. I mean, my stance on Zach Ertz has always been the same, and I haven't changed it since we've been talking about him for a while. But I mean, the cost that the Eagles wanted for him, I thought was too high to start with. And his cost in terms of his salary is also too high. So just all in all, I think I think it's just too much for any other team to pay up as far as like giving him that salary and giving the Eagles what they want. I think in terms of what the Eagles are asking for, I think that is coming down, rightfully so, as it gets a little bit closer to the beginning of the offseason, and then beginning of the OTAs. But as far as like Zach Ertz is concerned, I mean, yeah, he just needs to go play.
Yeah, no, agreed. I absolutely agree. And Little H, what's up? Welcome to the chat today, my man. Happy Thursday. Patrick J, Little H, new subscriber. One love.
Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you.
Big Play Slade says Ertz is not comprehending the level what the Eagles are asking for, and the asking price and the Eagles want isn't what teams are budging on. Man, you guys are already reading each other's minds, and it's blowing the world on fire.
Like it should.
The romance picked up right where it left off.
Like it should. The synergy, man.
like it should. Toxic Falcons. So this is quite the turn for you, my friend. I just have to say, Julio is a diva. His true colors are coming out. You couldn't have left 5 years ago. We could have kept that money, and you want to leave now. F Julio. Coming from the man who was so adamant about Julio not getting traded. Look, I don't think he's being that much of a diva. Look, Julio is one of the best wide receivers in the league still. I mean, yes, injuries have hampered the proof of that recently, but he can still cut on a dime quicker than most wide receivers can, especially at 6'3". What is he? 6'3", 217. I mean, I don't think Julio is being a diva. I think that the Falcons don't want to keep him on the roster for different reasons, cap reasons and things like that. Sometimes you just got to part your ways, and nobody's really a diva in the situation. It's just it's just business, honestly. Julio still wants to get what he thinks he's worth, and the Falcons are ready to move on. So, and they can. They got Calvin Ridley, they got Kyle Pitts now, and so they have a lot of things that they need to focus on moving forward. But Toxic Falcon says Matt Ryan fixed his contract for Julio. F you, Julio. Yeah.
It's crazy how quickly like a face of a franchise can really fall from grace, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I have faith in that team. I have faith in the Falcons team moving forward. I'm going to be really interested to see what they do with Kyle Pitts. And that's the thing too that I brought up not too long ago as well, is that, moving Julio could signify that they are going to move Kyle Pitts all over the place. You know what I mean? They still have Hayden Hurst, right? Wouldn't you agree, Patrick?
Yeah, they do. I mean, I think that's what Kyle Pitts was brought in to do. I mean, he can line up at tight end, but he can also line up at X, Y, and Z. So, I think really drafting him, signaled a change for the Falcons, and I really think it was a mutual thing. I think it was more like I'm sure the Falcons went to Julio and said, "Hey, are you willing to restructure? Are you willing to take a pay cut?" And I'm sure he said no. So I think ultimately it came down to a mutual decision to get him out of there, especially with the rise of guys like Calvin Ridley, and then having Kyle Pitts in there. Like the need for Julio Jones, I'm sure went down a little bit, especially at the price tag. So I don't necessarily agree either, saying that he's a diva, but I think it was at the end of the day a mutual decision for them to leave.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Let's see here. Little H says, I hear Julio may go to the Chargers or Pats. Fuck both of those teams. That's a new one. I have not heard Chargers, but man, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. What do you think about that, Patrick? Justin Herbert to Julio Jones?
That would be interesting, but I don't think that's happening. To be honest with you, I haven't heard of that either. I presented my choices. I still think it's Patriots most likely, then the Titans and the Colts, and then a couple of the NFC West team, even the Rams or the Cardinals or the Niners. Just watching Pat McAfee's show, they did mention those NFC West teams too. But Chargers would be interesting. They're kind of in the mold with me, with the likes of the Jets or the Jaguars. Like the teams that can potentially take him in, but I don't think they will. But that would be interesting to pair him up with a guy like Justin Herbert, because Herbert can swing it, man. Herbert can swing it.
Swing it or sling it?
Both, man. I love Justin Herbert.
That's what she said. He can swing.
I love Justin Herbert, dude. You know that.
I know you do. Much more than Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I do like Zach Wilson. I do have high hopes for him to turn this franchise around, but man, Justin Herbert's a monster, dude.
Justin Herbert, no, yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. I mean, it's going to be interesting because obviously the new offensive coordinator that they have over there, thanks to the Eagles. So we'll just have to see. It's going to be fun. I mean, there's going to be a lot of cool competitions. And I kind of mentioned this during draft time too, is that there were a lot of good players in that draft. And so I expect a lot of players from the draft to go in and compete for different teams, specifically, and that kind of leads me to what the defensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles is going to look like, and things of that nature, because we did sign guys that weren't just linebackers, that weren't just defensive linemen. They were edge rushers and stand-up linebackers, and specifically like Patrick Jones. And I mentioned it before, but I really think, and this is just a hunch, honestly, there hasn't been a lot said about Patrick Jones, but he's one of those players that I absolutely loved coming out of college, and so I think that it's going to be interesting to see how those competitions pan out, and bringing in Milt Williams and Tofuopu. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. The DT out of USC. Patrick, are you better with that than I am?
Nope. I will watch it even more than you did. So,
Big Play say. Moving on. Big Play says Julio to the Jets. Blech. No, you guys don't need a wide receiver.
I mean, I'll tell you, dude, we need him. I'll take all the receivers we can get.
I bet you would. Take him.
Yeah.
Like the new curtains I got? I got new curtains.
Oh, good for you, man. I didn't see that.
Thanks, buddy. Talks Falcons says, no disrespect, but the Falcons don't have to trade him to the team he wants to play for. Yeah, no, we know that. You've mentioned that before. Yeah, they don't have to trade him to anybody that he wants to go. They don't
have to. We were just talking about it because they did come out and say, one of the team officials did say that they do want to, do him right by sending him to the team that he wants. So that's the reason why we brought it up. They by all means have a right to trade him to wherever they get the most out of, And
I just don't think. Well, here's the thing that I think is interesting. And it was Colin Cowherd talking about resentment and Well, obviously, we were talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, but like it's starting to sound like that's kind of where it's going. I'm not going to say it's like that, but it sounds like that because there's been little hints and crumbs of either party between Julio and the Falcons front office that they're just starting to get a little bit bitter with one another. But I actually do want to talk about that for a second because I do want to go in and talk about Aaron Rodgers. What do you think, Patrick? He's not showing up. He's doing absolutely fine. He thinks that he should get the Russell Wilson, the Tom Brady, the Patty Mahomes treatment, and he should. I mean, he should. It's Aaron Rodgers, and they're like they've drafted one wide receiver in the first round in God knows how many years, and he's not. And on top of that, they had a really weird draft. They had a really weird draft. And they drafted, and like, for example, last year they drafted Jordan Love. As we know, it doesn't look like they're doing anything to support Aaron Rodgers. And this isn't the first time we've brought this up. Aaron being upset about it and everything like that. But here's the thing. Seattle, Russell Wilson, we know what happened this offseason when it came to Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. And that might still happen, in a year from now. But they did go out and they did address the offensive line. Tom Brady wanted his guys back that were on contract years this past season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they made it work. So like Patrick Mahomes, I mean, they went out and spent a fortune rebuilding the offensive line this offseason, and they also built or got him a ton of superstars on offense over the few years that he's been in the league. What do you think about the Aaron Rodgers thing? Me personally, Patrick, I think that I agree with Colin Cowherd in the sense that resentment has gotten to a point where it's hard. I'm starting to feel like he might not play for the Packers this season. And if he's still on the team, once the season begins, I could see him pulling a Julio. I really could. He's a bitter bitch, bro. I actually love Aaron Rodgers, but like he is bitter. He's stubborn. But I agree with him. He deserves more respect from that organization than the organization has given him to this point. And I would love to know your thoughts on that.
Sure. I mean, I agree with you. I think it's been said for a while. I think I know there was some public beef with him. It's actually it's been exactly 4 weeks and 1 day since that public beef has come out to the newswire. So it's gone on for more than a month. And then we did look at I did look at his first public statement with Kenny Mayne's interview on ESPN. They didn't really talk about anything, and it seems like there is a problem that's still lingering. And just looking at the history of it, I mean, yeah, I understand. It's an interesting situation for him to be put in because we're in a day and age where the NFL teams are doing everything they can to support their franchise quarterback, especially a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who's a generational talent, who's really led this team to places that he's kept up with the Packers history of amazing quarterbacks that's been out there. So yeah. It was interesting that they went the direction and in the past couple drafts. I know that they gave him a lot of weapons as a whole throughout free agency and trades and different things, but drafting the likes of Jordan Love and going the direction that they did with the draft this year too, it's obviously not something that I'm sure Aaron Rodgers wanted to see. And the public beef is obviously very self-apparent, we can all see that too. So, it's a very reminiscent of a situation last time. His NFL agent is David Dunn, who actually represents a lot of different NFL players too. Last time this kind of thing happened publicly with one of his clients, it was actually with Carson Palmer. When he was exiting the Cincinnati Bengals too. And then, as soon as that news came out, the saga lasted exactly 62 days. And then, from that point on, obviously Carson went on to play for the Raiders and then the Cardinals too. So I don't think if I had to put my money on it, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play for the Packers. I frankly don't think he cares necessarily about his situation in the Packers. I think he's put up with it enough that he wants to go and play somewhere else. The only Aaron Rodgers news that's coming out is his girlfriend. I feel like I see more Shailene Woodley than
first off, fiance. They are engaged.
Fiance. I'm sorry. I feel like I see more.
Her
Shailene
name is, and I know you know her name because I know that you absolutely love her, just like I do. Shailene Woodley.
I don't like Shailene Woodley. She's one actress I don't like. Yeah, but Shailene Woodley.
She's
I see.
Prettier than I might get in trouble for this. She's prettier than Selena. No. Come on. Emote.
This is where we end this conversation.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say. Well, here's the thing. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Selena, actually, Selena is absolutely stunning. Shailene would. I mean, I feel like they're both. They're both beautiful. They're both beautiful human beings. Yeah, I have no idea where I'm going with this, but no, it's fine. I mean, we can agree to disagree.
I have a very set celebrity crushes, and I stick with it. You know that, and Selena is one of them.
I know you do. What's the other one? There's a few others. What are some?
There's a few others. Yeah. I'll leave that for suspense. I'll leave it out there.
No, I think I've already listed a few on the stream.
Yeah, Selena Gomez, Anna Kendrick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love Anna Kendrick.
You like Katy Perry too, right?
No, not Katy Perry. I like Brie Larson.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah, Zendaya.
Oh right.
Yep, that's where I roll.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. There you go. There we go. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Let's move on from this topic. Let's see here. Oh, the 76ers beat the Wizards yesterday. That's news.
Yeah, dude. But that's. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows exactly where I'm going with it, but that guy that threw popcorn at Russell Westbrook when he was hurt and leaving the stadium. Good for the 76ers to ban him and take away his ticket forever, because you don't do that to any human being.
No, it's fun. And here's the thing, and this is what I want to throw out there too, is like, that's why Eagles or Philly sports fans get bad rep. But it's like, we are passionate, we are like, we will do stuff like that, but like not that. Like don't fucking do that. Like that's screwed up. But yeah, no, it's
just disrespectful as a human being too. You just don't do that kind of stuff.
Right, exactly. No, exactly. I mean, he was hurt, and yeah, no, I absolutely agree. But here's the thing, the 76ers defense did a pretty darn good job yesterday.
They did. I'm excited to see the Lakers and the Suns today. Game all tied up. Hopefully Chris Paul's back to normal strength. Big play Slay, you and your Lakers, but we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's gonna be good. I never count out LeBron, obviously, ever. So
you shouldn't. Yeah, LeBron and AD at their best that's a tough team to beat. But just being a Suns fan, you kind of hope that they make it out. I mean, for a lot of these guys, for a lot of the, like younger guys, besides Chris Paul and Jay Crowder, I mean, like Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, they're all younger than 25. I'm sure they got a lot more playoff experiences coming, but I mean, you hope your team does best. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Lakers in 6 says big play says Lakers in 6.
Suns in 6. I'll counter you.
Toxic Falcon says fans that need their ass whooped. Yeah, I mean, there's No, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be doing that shit. It's plain and simple. I mean, yeah, I'm glad that the 76ers did ban him for life. Sometimes you just do some dumb shit, and I would love to know what that fan said about being banned for life.
I mean, it's just stupid stuff, dude. Like it's
Yeah.
when it's like same thing. When I used to work at Disneyland, I did work at Disneyland for a little bit, and then when I used to work there, people would do some dumb stuff, like
Oh,
stuff
that's
that
right.
they would just do stuff that was just nonsense, and they would get banned from Disneyland forever, and they would just moan and cry. And I'm sure that's what they did too. I'm sure they're huge 76ers fan. I'm sure they're huge basketball fans, and then now they can't go watch their favorite team because of the dumb thing they did. And it's like same thing that happened at Disneyland. You can't come to your favorite place in the world because you did dumb shit. Like it's people just gotta think, man. Just be respectful, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I kudos to 76er organization for taking care of that situation quickly, but that just can't happen.
Right. You know what I absolutely love? And sorry guys, this is a kind of taking a shot at one of our subscribers. Is that since I responded to Enterzone saying that his "no woman in the NFL" comment was fucked up, he has not said a darn thing.
He probably left, bro. You hurt his feelings.
Dude, don't say sexist shit on the channel. It's that simple. I will give you guys free reign to say what you want. But I'm not gonna. But here's the thing: is I seriously was contemplating banning him because speaking of banning, because you guys can get in arguments with each other all you want. Do not say, like, I've talked about this before, and the last time I had to address this, Patrick, I interrupted you. I got upset, and rightfully so. Please, like, don't say sexist shit or racist shit or any of the above. Like, it's not derogatory terms. Derogatory terms are not cool. You know what I mean? Like that. Like it's just not cool. How do you feel about that, Patrick?
I mean, you know exactly how I feel, and I agree with you, my friend.
I know.
Yeah.
What did he say? Toxic Falcon says, what did he say? He said, no women in the NFL. That's what he said. And honestly, it was referring to me talking about Catherine Reich being promoted in the Philadelphia Eagles front office, which Patrick and I both addressed already. We think it's absolutely great and kind of really exciting. And I'd love to see where that goes from there because, Patrick, I'm sure you agree with me. Like, it's cool to see people progress in their lives. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, I think it just gets my juices flowing. It gets me excited. Like, I love to be witness of somebody else's development tree. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, I mean, not to get too political or anything like that, that's something I try to keep my political point of view out of this, but
yeah,
I absolutely am all for, people developing. It's cool to see someone, putting in the hard work and really getting rewarded for that, being recognized for that, whatever field that they're in, and especially, of someone that's of women, that hasn't had a whole lot of success in this field, like it was cool to see her get this kind of role. I know in basketball, NBA, they've recently started doing a lot more. There's a lot more female referees. Spurs have an assistant coach that's a female. So, I mean, that's cool to see. The Miami Marlins of the Major League Baseball also hired the first female and Asian American general manager to, that their role. This is her first year, and then now seeing Eagles do this. So just seeing a lot of these women and, people of color, I guess, putting in a lot of work and just really getting recognized for these roles. I mean, it's cool to see. Yeah, like it's cool to see people develop.
About fucking time.
Yeah, right? Really put in their work and go up there. So
right. It's about time. And that's the thing is it's been overlooked. It's been overlooked. I'm sure that there are plenty of other candidates I'm sure that there were like plenty of other females in the past who wanted to get to this point and do this, but there's been a fucking stigma. There's been a fucking stigma about it, and I disagree with the stigma. I think we should have been seeing this happen a lot sooner than it is happening. But yeah, it's about fucking time. About fucking time. You know what I mean, man? You know what I'm getting at, bro? Are you picking up the jelly beans that I'm dropping on the floor right now?
Hey man, half of my mind's working, but I'm listening and picking up all your jelly beans, dude.
Good.
Yeah, sorry for the random pauses, guys. I'm still working and typing emails as I'm doing this.
Actually, you're fine. You're fine. Tox Falcon says, "Do you watch the WNBA?" I do not, unfortunately. But that's not that I wouldn't want to. I just don't have. But that actually furthers the point, is that it's not broadcasted. It's not broadcasted enough. But I also don't have cable. I just have a smart TV.
I do watch WNBA very avidly. I waste all my time watching sports. I do. I'm very into all of it: NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, NASCAR, golf. I watch all PGA tournaments and WNBA included. Again, it's a partnership with the Suns, but I'm a huge Phoenix Mercury fan here. We have greatest of all time, Diana Taurasi playing in Phoenix. Skylar Diggins-Smith, Brittany Griner. We got Kia Nurse too. We got a really good team going on here. So I do watch a lot of WNBA, and I think the league pass this year is only $19.95. So I mean, if whoever's interested in it, I think you can get it 7 free days. And I think it's quote me if I'm wrong, but I think it's $16.99 or $19.95. So you guys can catch all WNBA games out there just with that. So. Super cool to watch.
Nice little slide in there.
Hey man, you gotta support the sport, you know.
I feel you. Yeah, so Big Play Slay wanted us to read this comment. So Patrick, hey, if you want to trade us your entire secondary, both just for J-Jaw, I'm open to talking if you want that deal. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
I was like, who?
I stopped giving him that nickname because that was the nickname that we decided to give him his rookie year before he did absolutely nothing. I mean, Patrick, if you want to trade us Jamal Adams, Marcus May, for J-Jaw, that'd be great. I'd take Marcus May. I'd take just CJ Mosley, honestly.
Oh, take him, man. take a salary off the books, dude. Yeah. I first thought Big Play Slay was talking about the Cardinals, and I'm like, Cardinals are already depleted in the secondary, so who do you want to take? But yeah, it makes a lot more sense with the Jets.
Yeah. No, and I agree. And I think I was having this conversation with Toxic Falcons. My last stream is CJ Mosley taking the year off. I don't think it's going to have that big of an impact. I think, obviously, what I said was these guys train. These guys continue to train every day. They've been doing it all their lives, like da-da-da-da-da. So he's probably fine. What's your take on that?
I'm sorry. What's my take on?
You think CJ Mosley is still game ready?
Everything that I've read, that he has been keeping up his body to be ready. He, in his recent interview, actually that came out this morning, he says that he has an added chip on his shoulder, which he should after the 2-year hiatus. He's been putting a lot of work. He's been doing a lot to get back on the field, to get back to the Pro Bowl level caliber player that he was with the Ravens. And obviously for being a competitor like that, from everything that I've seen as far as CJ Mosley's concerned with his time with New York, he seems like a great guy. and he's really mentally motivated. And for any competitor like that to have to take 2 years off, I mean, I'm sure it does a lot mentally. So he said he's been working a lot with Jets team psychologists. He's been talking to his family members and coaches to really get his mindset the right way. And then it seems like he's been putting in a lot of work to get back to his Pro Bowl level. So I have no doubt, with his work ethic that he can get back there. Whether his body can catch up to that after taking 2 years off and with the injuries that he's had, I mean, that's to be seen. But I think he's going to do everything that he can to put himself into that shape to be that he can. Whether his body can follow that up or not, we'll see. But I'm pulling for him too. So
here's my take on this, and yeah, no, and I agree with everything that you said. I think that, I mean, he is a phenomenal player, and so I know that he knows what he needs to do to make sure that he's in tip-top shape and ready to play. But relating it to the Philadelphia Eagles, for example, I mean, do you think it would be worth it? I mean, obviously, yeah. Do you think it would be worth? I definitely do. But do you think it would be worth it? And do you think that contract, that year off, makes him vulnerable to having to renegotiate a contract in order for a trade to happen, if a trade were to happen? I honestly don't know what the Jets' take on CJ Mosley. I just know that he was a part of trade rumors during the offseason, Patrick.
Yeah, basically, there was speculations about his future. At the time, the Jets were open to trading him. When the first free agent signings happened, when Robert Saleh came over, he did bring over Gerard Davis from Detroit Lions, and that obviously led to speculations about CJ Mosley's future. But the fact of the matter is that his contract is virtually immovable at this point. He's still owed in another $14 million in guarantees. So it's not even just about restructuring or how to fit in the dead money and all that stuff. It's he is just plain blank owed a lot of money going forward. Then it's going to hurt the Jets as far as the dead money is concerned, and it's going to hurt the team that's taking him on as far as a lot of salary and guaranteed money is concerned. And with that kind of salary, it's hard for me to envision like the type of restructuring or pay cuts that you've seen in other players to accommodate trades just because he's owed so much money. You know what I mean? And it's hard for him to take that pay cut given his uncertainty with his health and stuff with a 2-year hiatus. So I say it's very unlikely that he gets traded just because of all these situations. But yeah, I mean, for anyone to take that kind of contract on, you would just have to simply open up the cap space. And I just don't see him taking any type of pay cuts at this point.
Yeah. Well, then you can just trade us Marcus May. Then that's fine. Let's bust out some of these questions. Jalen Hurtsby says, "Who is your favorite actress again, Patrick? Isn't it like Kate Winslet?"
My like, what are we talking about? My favorite actress that I had, or just like the great, like my favorite actress?
I think it's
because we're talking about the hottest actress earlier. But I mean, if we're talking about my favorite
and you got
actress,
Zendaya, right?
My hottest actress, that my biggest celebrity crush
is Selena.
It's probably Selena. Yeah, it's
Ooh, Patrick's got a crush.
it's probably Selena. It has to be. Yeah, it's either Selena or I love Anna Kendrick. It's one of those.
Yeah,
two.
she's. Oh, I just saw a movie with her recently. What was it called? Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, no, yeah, I think it's favorite actress.
My favorite actress. It's not Kate Winslet. My favorite actress, probably right now is. I mean, weird to say it. I wouldn't have said this like 5 years ago, but it's probably Scarlett Johansson. She's done a lot that I absolutely love as far as her work's concerned. Like she, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure you'd agree with me to a certain extent, DB. But I love Marriage Story on Netflix with her and Adam Driver. That's the one that she got nominated for best actress. I absolutely loved her in Her. That's my favorite movie. I mentioned this before with Joaquin Phoenix. She actually played AI, artificial intelligence, that kind of develops sentient. Yeah, so she was phenomenal in that. I absolutely loved her in that movie. And you know, yeah, this is my nerd side coming out. I absolutely love her as Black Widow. I think she killed it. She was really good in Jojo Rabbit for Taika Waititi. That was also nominated for Best Picture too, and she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress as well. So she's done a lot of work that I absolutely like. I absolutely love. So I mean, she would probably be my favorite actress at this time, just strictly on her performance is concerned. But I do really like. Brie Larson. I do really, I do really
yeah.
like Amy Adams. You know,
Ben,
Naomi Watts, Jessica Chastain, Rooney Mara. I love.
Yeah, you and I are pretty much on that same boat. But you know, and also obviously Kate Blanchett as well. Can't forget her.
Yeah, and Lupita Nyong'o. Correct me if I'm saying that wrong, but she is such a phenomenal actress too. So, a lot of good ones out there. I mean, I can name this all day, like actress wise. So,
did you all actually play football in real life? So I didn't play football while I was in school, but like me and my friends, we played we got into it pretty competitively outside of school. So it was kind of, you know, so I played quite a bit when I was younger. What about you, Patrick?
I played 2 years of high school football. I was a tight end for my team, and then I actually played baseball most of my life. I played baseball, obviously, from t-ball days all the way up to college. I played 2 years in college too. So nice. Baseball is my main sport.
I feel like Patrick was a 5-star whiteout. Patrick is a 5-star whiteout. He's a 5-star. He's a 10-star whiteout in my mind.
I played block first tight end.
Yeah. And I played when we would play competitively. I played wide receiver and safety because Brian Dawkins was one of my favorite, or is my favorite player to ever suit up in an Eagles uniform. So, and do you all watch college football? Yes, we do. We do. We watch college football just so we can get as much information as we possibly can, so that we can dissect each and every team and player. So it makes us more informed going into each season, every draft season. You know,
totally. Yeah, I'm obsessed with NCAA football, basketball, again, everything. So,
you know who I was really excited about and then got injured, and this is going back a little bit, but he was one of the top 5 wideouts that was predicted to go in that following draft. Was Deandre Brown, who got injured, really fucked up his leg. Do you remember him?
I do. I do. He played for Southern Miss, right?
Yep. I was so he came out with that in that same draft as Sean Green, if I remember correctly. The Jets had Sean Green. They drafted Sean Green. Who was good? He was good.
Yeah.
He was good. He was good in his rookie year.
But yeah, I mean, anyways, yeah, college football. Yes, Arizona State, my alma mater, always. Because who's coaching? Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards all the way for ASU football. We got Jaden Daniels, who's a Heisman Trophy candidate, top 10 candidate. So ASU's coming for you. And then, you know, old New York Giant legend Antonio Pierce is assistant coach, and
Antonio Pierce.
He's supposed to take over for Herm Edwards. So.
But he tried to re-injure Brian Westbrook's ankle.
Antonio Pierce is a ASU legend, and he will be.
I don't give a flying
Edwards here shortly. So
I don't give a flying fuck. Moving on. Brian Westbrook came back from an injury, and like he fucking was pressing down on his ankle, and it was noticeable. Like he got flagged for it. Antonio Pierce got flagged for it, but was like. After he tackled Brian Westbrook, I think this was like 2006, maybe. Yeah, he just like I literally got so fucking livid, like I almost hit the TV screen. Fuck Antonio Pierce. That's cool that he's coming to ASU though. But I have a bitter tasting in my mouth. That's what she said. I've had way too much coffee today. It's okay. Patrick is probably really good at everything.
Thanks, man.
He really is. I mean, he's one of a kind. He's a unique piece of the chessboard.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're like the shooter in a set of pogs that every little kid wants to protect with their life.
Okay. Thanks.
Did you ever play that game, Pogs?
I did. It's been a while. That's the original, man. That's before Fortnite and all that stuff happened.
Yeah. No, I mean, I had a huge collection of Pogs before my ma sold them at a garage sale. I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, but let's go ahead and move on. Patrick, didn't you play music? It's all about you right now, so that's why I'm having the best of times.
Well, it's because I haven't been here, man. But yeah, I did. So
Patrick got his master's in music from.
I do. Yeah,
ASU.
I have a master's in music composition, and then I am currently in school to finish up a computer science degree too. Because music, believe it or not, does not pay a lot of bills, but I do love doing music. Yeah, I do. I do play guitar and piano. I haven't done a whole lot recently, but if I ever put anything out there again, I will make sure to let everyone know.
I'm waiting.
It's been a while, but
you know that I put up rough drafts of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, check it out. Everyone should check it out. It's good.
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm my hardest critic, so I don't think it's good. But that's neither here nor there. Big Play Slay says, I'm an Auburn fan. Right on, brother. Right on. Boise State all day says Toxic Falcons. Jalen Hurtsby says Georgia, baby. Georgia Bulldogs. Yeah. Toxic Falcons says, now you an Eagles fan, but a Georgia fan? Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Don't be me. Don't be so hard on Jalen. He's like, LOL, it happens, bro. Here, let's get back to the most recent ones. Adam Griffin, the kicker, went to my school. Big Play Today says Patrick and DB are two incoming legends. That's because I'm a conduit for Patrick's legendariness. It's honestly me being selfish and just like pulling from his legendary well. It has nothing to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but hey, appreciate it. Much appreciated.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Who was your favorite athletes growing up? Says Jalen Hurtsby. Well, I've answered this one quite a bit. Brian Dawkins for me, and probably. Oh, actually, you know what? I was like every other kid. I mean, I was like every other kid when it came to basketball, though. And you know where I'm going with this. And it wasn't just he was my favorite athlete, obviously, you know, in all sports until B-Dog kind of came into the picture. But yeah, with Michael Jordan. And then B-Dog. B-Dog got drafted, and then from then on, man, yep, that was it. What about you, Patrick?
Let's see. I mean, like I said, I played baseball in my life, so baseball was my first love, and I pitched all throughout. So I mean, I absolutely liked. You know, when I was a kid, I watched Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz growing up, with because I was born in Georgia, but when I went to New York, obviously we used to go to Bronx and catch some Yankee games. Mariano Rivera, Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, those are my heroes growing up in baseball field. When it came to football, it's weird. My favorite player will always be DeBrickashaw Ferguson. I don't know if anybody remembers. He was an offensive tackle for the New York Jets. I absolutely just liked him because of his name. And
very well.
Yeah, I still will always call him my favorite Jet. But like any kid, you like a quarterback. I love Chad Pennington. Growing up, he was one of my favorite players. For basketball,
like an ice cream truck. He looked like an ice cream truck. He really did.
Right. And for that's a good one.
Do you like that?
I did. For what was I saying? For hockey, Wayne Gretzky. For basketball, I was a huge fan of the Suns back in the day too, with the 7 seconds or less era with Steve Nash and Mari Stoudemire.
Oh yeah,
Sean Marion. Joe Johnson, Grant Hill. Good era. So, long-winded answer.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. I love it. I remember DeBrickashaw Ferguson really well. He was quite the leader for that team.
Yes, sir.
Something happened to the chat at some point. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but what happened to the chat? Big Play Slay says, "Sup, I'm back. What's up? What's up, little H?" Well, what happened to the chat? Enter Zone, welcome back. He says mine was Serena Williams. Yeah, Serena's phenomenal. Serena's phenomenal.
I love Serena.
Yeah. I do not know what happened to the chat. Little H says, DB, you watch the NBA and MLB? I do. I watch the NBA more than I do the MLB, but obviously, when it comes to both, I stick with my roots, which is 76ers and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Philadelphia Phillies just, I don't know what to say anymore about them. But 76ers, I'm really hoping do some damage in this playoffs. So, which I think they would. It seems like they're fucking handling the Wizards pretty darn well. So
as they should. I think the East really comes down to, the Bucks are playing really well. I mean, the type of numbers that they were putting up against Miami, they're making like Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo feel like nothing, so Bucks are a threat, and obviously those three-headed monster over in Brooklyn Nets, with James Harden, Kyrie, and KD. That team's insane. It's just not fair for them to have guys like Blake Griffin and Joe Harris on the same team too. So I think the Sixers are up there. I think it'll come down to, like everybody predicted between the three teams. There are some feel-good stories like the Hawks or the Knicks too, but we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I'm actually more interested in the Western Conference too, because with the Clippers being down to the Mavs, with the Blazers, they might have a chance to beat the Nuggets, Suns and Lakers again, and then going back to the whole Jazz and Grizzlies. Grizzlies actually have showed a lot of fight too, so we'll see. NBA playoffs are always exciting. So,
speaking of Nuggets, who has really good chicken tenders? And actually, you and our other buddy turned me on to this place, Cane's.
Cane's is delicious. Their sauce, man.
I know, it's so good.
So good. Yeah.
Patrick from Georgia. Toxic Falcon says Patrick from Georgia. Patrick's not from. Wait a minute. What?
I was born in Georgia. I was shout out to Jalen Hurts me. So my parents actually went to University of Georgia. They are Bulldogs. So I was born in Athens, Georgia. And I was raised there. Yeah, I was raised there until I was 5, and then I moved to Brooklyn, Crown Heights, Brooklyn area. Not the nicest neighborhood, but I did. That's where I spent majority of my time of my youth. So that's why I always say that I'm from Brooklyn, because I can always talk about it, because that's where I went to school and I remember most of it. But I was actually born in Athens, Georgia, right by Atlanta. So
yeah, you guys just caught me in rare form. I completely forgot. That Patrick was from from Georgia.
I forget too. It's okay.
It's been quite a while. It's been 25 years. Oh boy! Imagine not being big place. Imagine not being Darius Slay. Couldn't be me. Yeah. Let me see here. Little H says, I'm from San Diego, lived there until 2016, makes me a Padres fan, and I'm a Celtics fan. Became a fan on 11, 16, 17. My very first baseball team was actually the Padres. Believe it or not, we absolutely sucked big time until they put me at first baseman, and I got everything that came my way, foul balls included. And then they, for some reason, moved me to outfield, and after that, I did win game MVP that game. Patrick, I have to talk about this. I won game MVP that game because literally, I did not let anything get by me, and caught 2 foul balls. It was absolutely phenomenal. My game, that was our first win of the season. And yeah, we had a horrible fucking season. When I say horrible, I mean absolutely god awful. But they fucking moved me. The coaches didn't know what they were doing. They moved me to outfield after that game, and we continued to lose. You know what I mean? So it was the only game that we won. I was very upset. I even told my coach after that game, I was like, yo, you better fucking put me, like a 12-year-old kid, you better fucking put me at first base next week, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And they didn't, but it's fine. What was your favorite? Jalen Hurtsby says, what was your favorite music growing up? I mean, Counting Crows, Matchbox 20, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, the Eagles, who else? Actually, I wasn't a big Beatles fan. Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, Eminem a little bit. I'm kind of weird when it comes to rap. It's usually a different persona of me that takes over. And it's right. That's the only time I listen to rap is when I go to the gym. But Patrick, what about you?
I was a big pop punk kid. So I mean, I was when I say I did music, my first love was pop punk. I was in a pop punk band for forever. And I don't know if you guys know the Main, who's Arizona band here, who became a pretty popular guys. We used to open for them. So pop punk's my first love growing up. Fall Out Boys, Panic at the Disco, All Time Low, New Found Glory.
Yeah.
Green Day, Blink 182, Sum 41, Boys Like Girls, We the Kings. I mean, I could go on with pop punk. So, My Chemical Romance, Good Charlotte, Simple Plan.
Yeah. Good Charlotte and Simple Plan. That's right.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like that. But then, growing up, it was pop punk mostly, and then I did a lot of hip hop too. I like Nas. I liked
50. I like 50.
Yeah, I was big Eminem. I like Linkin Park. I like Jay-Z. So nowadays it's kind of changed a lot. Nowadays I listen to totally different stuff. I'm a big fan of Manchester Orchestra. I really like Mumford & Sons. Frozen.
Frozen. Patrick is undoubtedly a Disney
Disney
soundtrack.
Exactly. I can sing every word from every Disney song you can probably name, and I can do it.
Have you ever been in a fight? Says Toxic Falcons. Little H makes his own rap music. That's pretty fucking cool, man. I grew up in a musical family. So I appreciate every single kind of music. And I'll get down. Yeah. I mean, I'll listen to it. Depends on my mood. It depends on my mood, honestly. I really like NF right now. I think
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's awesome. Meek Mill. I don't like every song by Meek Mill, but like obviously there's the Dreams and Nightmares. I absolutely love that. Like that's a go-to. And I don't come at me for this, but I'm not impressed with Eminem lately. Like I'm just not. Like it's starting to sound like the same shit that he did a year ago or a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's different. He's for sure taking a different route, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you heard J. Cole's new album, but it's so good, dude. J. Cole's new album is so good, and
Yeah.
I'm absolutely obsessed with. I was not a big fan of Taylor Swift, but I'm a huge fan of her new music that she's came out with. And like Olivia
I
Rodrigo has just blown me away with her album. So
told you that 3
yeah,
years ago, 4 years
yeah.
ago.
But
Like
have
Taylor
you,
is
did you
good.
hear Olivia Rodrigo's new album?
No.
Dude, it's so good. She's like 17, and I'm like, who hurt you so badly? Because it's so freaking good, dude.
Is she the one who sings that song?
She's saying driver's license.
Yes, that's exactly what
Yeah,
okay.
deja
Yeah, no,
vu. Good for you. She's so good, dude. So
I
good.
did a cover. I did a little like rough draft cover of that
Yeah,
song on Instagram.
so good. She's so good.
Um,
But yeah,
but have you ever been in a fight? Says Toxic Falcons. Yeah, I could just get back to that question. Yeah, bro. I used to fight this kid every single day, and he was my best friend. We fought each other every single day after the bus stop. He was a little nuts. But but we were, I got in fights growing up. Patrick, didn't you get in
I've come down a lot, but I was really small when I was younger. So I used to get beat up a lot, but I was one of those kids that would fight back, and then I would never win, but I would win with persistency, you know.
Yeah.
And then I like I said, I grew up in Brooklyn, and I played in streets a lot, and then we get in scuffles a lot and stuff too. So,
Same.
and then I went to Arizona State University, and you have to you get in a lot of scuffles over there too, and it's but yeah, so I mean, and you grow. But the thing is, you grow out of it. I learned a lot from it. I made a lot of friends through it, to be honest with you. So I mean, it happens.
Yeah. No, I mean, same. Like I was kind of young, and I was kind of small, but I was scrappy. That's the thing too. I was scrappy, not too scrappy, but like, you know what I mean? Kind of, you know what I mean?
It's like weird to think that we were small, because we're like not small now.
I know. Yeah, no, if I had for sure. Anyway, Jalen Hurtsby says, how do you drink your coffee or alcohol of choice? I'm fresh 21. Well, congratulations on being 21, my man. I mean, I drink my coffee black or with coconut milk. We've addressed this before, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and I don't drink anymore, but I used to have white wine or red wine, or I would just go beer testing with Patrick. To be honest.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, yeah, I went through stages. I think I liked cranberry vodka for a while. Cranberry vodka. Yeah. But yeah, as far as coffee is concerned, I mean, but I don't drink anymore. But as far as coffee is concerned, yeah, just either black or with coconut milk and or some espresso. Like I'll do an Americano. Those are always good. What about you, Patty?
Yeah, my coffee. I always take it black. I prefer hot coffee, just black. Brewed coffee, Americano. I'll take either of them. I like if it's ice again, just black ice, cold brew, ice coffee, ice Americano. So that's just how I like to take it. As far as drinks are concerned, I do like craft beer. Like you said, I do like sours. But mostly nowadays, I mean, not to sound snobby, but I like just bourbon or scotch. Just neat, I just pour myself a little bit and then just sip it through the night. So that's my preference. But I mean, for sure, for sure, when I was fresh 21, I for sure was not doing that. I was chugging, I was chugging vodka, taking tequila shots and stuff like that. So do whatever you want to, just stay safe, man.
Yeah, stay safe. That's the main important thing. Yeah, I wasn't really drinking all that much at 21. That's the thing, is like, I think my family took me out for my 21st birthday, and that's about it. That's about it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but yeah, just stay safe. That's the main important thing. That is the main important thing. Little H says, I got into 2 fights during 2019, gave people bloody nose each time. Well, I mean, hey, if you're a vampire, that makes sense. Just kidding.
Again, as long as you're safe, Lil H.
Yeah. But I'll take you into battle anytime. Hey, let's talk about this to wrap up the day. Again, this is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, live with Patrick J. Happy Thursday, everybody. Rookies making impacts. I absolutely love everything that I'm hearing from Eagles camp regarding Devontae Smith. Brandon Graham says that he's pretty much impressed with the young rookies along the defensive line. So that's really cool. I've already told you guys what I think about Jacoby Stevens. I think that he's going to definitely be a player to watch. But it seems like Devontae Smith is doing a phenomenal job, and I expect him to do a phenomenal job. I always think it's funny, and we talked about this in the last stream too, is that Devontae Smith is the youngest wide receiver on the team. I believe so. Jalen Reagor and him might be the same age, but I always think it's funny him coming in and telling the other guys who are older, "Yo, bro, you got to do this. You got to do this. This is how you do it." Blah 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 blah. But yeah, rookies make an impact. Doesn't have to be just the Eagles. Patrick, who are you excited for on the Jets and around the league?
I obviously, like, let me exclude like the quarterbacks. Obviously I'm excited to see what Zach Wilson can do. I'm excited to see what Trevor Lawrence and even Justin Fields can do. But I do have a couple that I really like, that's like in ideal position for them to succeed. My top first one that comes to my mind is Naji Harris. Not a big proponent to take a running back in the first round, but I think he fits the system really well. I think the Pittsburgh actually does a really good job of developing running backs. And I think Najee Harris is going to be able to step in really and give that offense a different dimensional attack. I think with Ben's, Ben's almost 39 at this point. So I think he's going to take a lot of pressure off of him. So I think he's going to make an immediate impact. Like I said, I'm taking the quarterbacks out of the equations. So, I mean, easy guys to pick are Kyle Pitts. I'm excited to see what he can do with the Falcons. I'm excited to see what Devontae Smith can do. I'm excited to see what Jalen Waddle can do with the Dolphins. But one guy that I am actually keeping a really close eye on is actually Micah Parsons for the Cowboys too. I think he's going to fit Dan Quinn's system really well. His skill set's going to enable him to play that traditional linebacker to really help DeMarcus Lawrence off the edge too. And then he's going to be a nice fit. I feel like next to Vander Esch, who's been slowed by injuries and stuff like that too. And they just declined his 5th-year option too. So I mean, obviously the future is now. But yeah, I mean, if I'm strictly just looking at it, guys like that, I think those are the guys that I'm looking at. Easy picks are the quarterbacks, but I'm excited for all the receivers that were taken, including Rashad Bateman of the Ravens and Rondale Moore for the Cardinals too. Jamar Chase, obviously with the Bengals, but I really like all these guys. But Najee Harris would be my pick. And same thing with Travis Etienne. I really like that he has continuity with Trevor Lawrence going into the Jaguar system. So
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be interested to see what happens with Micah Parsons as well, and Jabril Cox, and my thing is I think it could spell doom for Jalen Smith as well. So we'll have to see what happens with him. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up for the day. We'll probably talk about rookie impacts more in the next stream, which we can do tomorrow, probably around 3:30 but I will let you guys know. But this is DB talking now, DB talking Birds, DB talking Philadelphia Eagles and around the league and anything that you guys want to talk about. But hey, guys, I appreciate you joining in with us. Me and Patrick J, Toxic Falcons, Little H, Big Play Slay, Jalen Hurts me, Enter Zone, even you too as well. Absolutely. One love, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your Thursday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and go Birds, baby.